为什么月薪5000的姑娘看上去过着年薪100万的生活？
Why does a girl with a monthly salary of only 5,000 yuan live her daily life like a socialite with an annual income of 1,000,000 yuan? Today, I'm going to unveil the veil of this so-called exquisite lifestyle. We carry luxury bags worth 20,000 yuan, hold delicate afternoon tea in our hands, and chat and laugh with our besties. Right after getting our hair done, we schedule a high-end spa session. Every inch of us must be polished and glamorous. Even if our credit cards are already maxed out in order to present the image of a rich and beautiful woman, we still keep buying without hesitation. We would say, what roadside food stalls or barbecue stands with all that smoky vibe? I won't touch those. I only eat French cuisine in upscale restaurants. Socialite-style posts on moments can't be random either. Every single photo must exude a sense of luxury. Buying a discounted flight ticket to travel abroad, just to take a few refined photos and check in online, posing with a surfboard as a prop. Do you really think we're actually surfing? In fact, we don't even dare to touch the water too much. Standing by a high-end swimming pool, shivering from the cold, yet still forcing ourselves to take a few beautiful shots. As for staying in a 5-star hotel and having an expensive dinner just to take photos that dominate the scene, well, at least that gives us 10 days worth of content to post on Moments. After all, you won't see us munching on bread in the room afterward to stave off hunger. 2 hours for a flawless makeup look, enhanced with beauty filters. The version of me on social media is absolutely stunning. After putting on makeup, I pose in a bikini to portray the luxurious beach vacation life of a socialite. The essence of it is, the more expensively we package ourselves, the more we can filter out ordinary suitors and directly lock onto our target, some rich guy. As for those overdrawn credit cards? The day we fall into the arms of a wealthy man, someone will naturally take care of the bill for us.
名媛不工作，收入从哪里来呀？
Many people are curious. Those so-called socialites seem to live a worry-free life with refined taste. But how exactly do they make money? After all, many of them don't even have stable jobs. So what are their actual sources of income? First of all, one of the main sources of income actually comes from the fish in the pond. That is, a group of men who are willing to spend money on them, make efforts for them, and provide material support. Almost every socialite shares a common trait. Their social media posts are filled with carefully curated sexy photos. You'll see curvy figures, long legs, black stockings, high heels, tight skirts. Every photo looks like it's been retouched straight out of a fashion magazine, creating a double image of a sexy goddess plus wealthy heiress, which is highly alluring. But don't be fooled by appearances. These are all visual traps, backed by schemes. Most of these so-called socialites don't have much money themselves. Those seemingly expensive clothes, handbags, and even lingerie might actually be shared rentals, with several or even dozens of girls splitting the cost. It's said that some girls even shared stockings, and eventually ended up with athlete's foot. How could men possibly know these insider stories? All they see are enchanting goddesses, and they willingly become simps. These girls only need to say one sentence, "Today is my birthday," and in just one day, they can receive thousands upon thousands of red envelopes and gifts. Sometimes, just one birthday show can rake in tens of thousands or even over 100,000 yuan. Who needs to work anymore? The second source of income is live streaming or being a broadcaster. Many socialites actually work as models or streamers behind the scenes. Don't be fooled by their glamorous looks during the day. At night, they might be staying in live streaming rooms for hours. These fake socialites have a whole group of online simps. Through chatting, tipping, and virtual emotional interactions, they continuously monetize. Some simps might even get favored, enjoying the goddess moment for a short while, indulging in a fantasy of sweet romance. But most simps are just backups, or not even that, just temporary tools. The third common way to make money is the so-called alcohol traps. Some socialites actively approach men via social media, appearing friendly and proactive, then invite them out for a meeting. Many men can't resist a pretty girl's invitation. But once they meet, they're led straight to a prearranged bar. Then, a storm of operations follows, ordering drinks, fruit platters, champagne. And when it's time to pay, the bill easily hits thousands or even tens of thousands of yuan. And as it's the first meeting, men feel embarrassed to refuse and can only grit their teeth and pay. For these socialites, if they get 10 such clients a month, that's enough for their living expenses. The rest of the time, they can continue their refined lifestyle. Lastly, I want to give a piece of advice to all the brothers. Stop throwing your hard-earned money at those girls who offer no future and no real affection. The most valuable investment is to invest in yourself. Improve yourself, become more capable and more attractive. That is the real key to gaining love and happiness.
没想到北京、上海已经出现了这种名媛培训班。
You might not believe it, but in Beijing and Shanghai, a new type of course specifically designed to train socialites has quietly emerged. These so-called socialite training classes are not cheap. Each class costs as much as 29,800 yuan. The training content is even more jaw-dropping. There are dedicated instructors who systematically teach you how to precisely screen target rich men, how to create accidental encounters, and how to attract their attention with a well-packaged appearance. It's even said that as long as you've attended the training, you can basically hunt successfully and achieve the so-called status leap. Are there really people signing up for such seemingly absurd training courses? The answer is yes, and quite a few. Today, let's take a closer look into this hidden and gray industry chain. In fact, years ago the media had already exposed similar socialite training classes. At that time, the cost of a full semester could reach over 100,000 yuan. And once you enroll successfully, a professional team immediately starts serving you. From image stylists and etiquette trainers to so-called social mentors, they will tailor a socialite persona for you in all aspects. Not only will your appearance be completely revamped, but even your way of speaking, social conversation skills, social media post layout techniques, and even your room's decoration style and selfie angles will all be taught to you step by step. Some places even regularly organize offline high-end gatherings, specifically to create opportunities for you to bump into so-called elite members of society. It's said that quite a few wives or girlfriends of celebrities in the entertainment industry also studied in such training programs before marrying into wealthy families. Even more exaggerated, some institutions even promise that if you fail to land successfully, they will arrange a match for you, just like a marriage agency, even planning your backup route in advance. Not only that, recently even young master training classes have started to emerge in Shanghai. It is said that these classes specifically target male clients, providing them with standardized clothing, shoes, hairstyles, watches, accessories, and even standard templates for poses and photo backgrounds. The whole process is like assembly line production, all for the purpose of building a high-end image of an elite gentleman on social media platforms. In the end, whether it's socialite training or young master courses, they are essentially businesses built on human nature. Some people joke. Other than being morally questionable, these training programs are actually quite professional. What do you think?
不要小看任何一个身材好、会打扮、朋友圈各种炫的假名媛。
Never underestimate those so-called fake socialites who have outstanding figures, know how to dress and style themselves, have wide social circles, and frequently appear in various high-end venues. They still possess an extremely mature social system and life strategy. Many people think they are just obsessed with beauty and luxury brands, but in fact, the effort and techniques they put into choosing men are no less than the effort men invest in building their careers. The competition among men is about who can better identify opportunities, seize them, and ultimately achieve greatness. While the competition among women is about who can better read people, recognize high-quality men, and make those men fall for them. The difficulty of these two types of competition is actually quite comparable. Many people overlook a reality. Men who fail in their careers, lack clear thinking, or have weak execution capabilities can hardly win over a woman who is good at selecting men and has sharp judgment. Such women usually surpass ordinary men in terms of judgment, emotional intelligence, and even action-taking ability. Men need to put effort into both career and relationships. While on the surface, women only need to focus on choosing the right man, but to truly excel at that, they must also spend a lot of time and energy to improve themselves. At the end of the day, a woman's investment in herself also aims at attracting a high-quality partner. So, although it seems men are handling two tasks while women only one, the amount of effort and time women pour into selecting the right man is by no means less, often even more. Therefore, it's not surprising that the results some women achieve appear more impressive in certain aspects. Also because of this, many men with decent qualifications often find it hard to pursue even slightly attractive women. As for those fake socialites, their standards are even higher. They only want to marry rich second-generation heirs, and simply look down on other men, even thinking most men are not worthy of them. This is not because they are arrogant, but because their long-term social experience has already made them accustomed to a certain kind of high standard. Don't underestimate this kind of goddess aura. It's not something that can be faked overnight, but rather the result of long-term cultivation. Many fake socialites have come a long and tough way, starting from working in factories, to foot massage shops, beauty salons, then selling clothes, cosmetics, jewelry, and finally advancing to luxury goods sales. Through all the hustle, they gradually enhanced their lifestyle taste and step by step shaped their high standards in choosing men. One could even say their selection standards upgrade one level every 3 days, constantly evolving. To maintain this socialite image, they scrimp and save, sharing hotels, sharing rides, sharing afternoon teas, sharing bags, sharing stockings. Almost every resource that can be shared is utilized to the extreme. After investing so much effort, of course they wouldn't settle for ordinary men. But the problem is, truly successful men are scarce resources, far from enough to be allocated among these sharp-witted women. At this point, they even begin to compete for rich second-generation men among themselves.
这一期保证让你刷新认知。
What is the ultimate goal of fake socialites? Many people might blurt out, isn't it obvious? They just want to marry into wealth. But the question is, do you really think it's that simple? Do you really believe that those wealthy men would be easily impressed by a delicate afternoon tea, a limited edition luxury handbag, or even a few well-edited selfies? If you say they might be attracted by a pretty face or a great figure, I could agree to some extent, but if you think the so-called socialite lifestyle alone can move those men who've seen the world, then you're seriously underestimating reality. Indeed, marrying into wealth is one of the goals for fake socialites, but it's definitely not the core driving force behind their actions. The real goal can actually be summarized into 2 main directions. First, fish farming, building their own fish pond economy circle. What does this mean? Simply put, it means creating a pool of male resources composed of multiple backups, simps, and sponsors. For example, if she can receive 5 cups, 10 cups, or even hundreds of cups of the first cup of milk tea in autumn in a short time, what does that imply? Behind it lies countless transfers, gifts, emotional value exchanges, and even continuous financial support. These men are not necessarily her target partners, but they are the fish she manipulates emotionally and harvests resources from in the long term. They want these foolish men to keep giving. Second, building a high-end socialite image in her social circle, monetizing influence through a virtual persona. Most fake socialites don't actually have a stable job or decent profession in the traditional sense. They often claim to be freelancers and engage in some light, easily packaged work, such as aesthetic medicine agency or microbusiness. They use delicate lifestyle photos, frequent check-ins at upscale places, and all kinds of group selfies to construct an image of "I'm successful, I live a high-end life" in their social circles. This socialite image is not just for showing off, more importantly, it's for harvesting. Their target is to attract ordinary girls who are feeling lost, anxious, and yearning for a better life. They make those girls believe, as long as you also start doing aesthetic medicine, start a microbusiness, dress more exquisitely, and make yourself look like me, you can also have a life like mine. And once those girls really believe it, they start willingly paying for courses, buying products, or even paying mentorship fees. At that point, the fake socialite has quietly completed yet another round of cash extraction. So, now do you understand?
Nowadays, many so-called fake socialites try to build a glamorous persona of being a rich and beautiful lady by splitting the cost of luxury bags, renting luxury hotel suites, or borrowing luxury cars just to take photos. They attempt to create a false impression of having a privileged background and a wealthy lifestyle, in hopes of attracting the attention of rich men and securing a chance to marry into wealth. They're like building a pyramid, stacking up luxury items, refined lifestyle photos, and check-ins at high-end venues step by step, aiming to reach the top of the socialite pyramid. But in reality, These tricks have already been seen through by the truly wealthy. Don't forget, those who are really at the top of the pyramid. Which of them hasn't experienced the world or seen through countless people? The superficial elegance of these fake socialites is no match for the sharp eyes of the rich. In fact, the wealthy have already seen through everything but simply don't bother to point it out. After all, your so-called strategies are nothing but petty tricks in their eyes. In the end, you're just a little fox playing tricks from a fairy tale, while they've been foxes for 1,000 years already. It's just too naive, and true socialites never need to show off to prove their worth. They don't deliberately post about how many countries they've traveled to in their friend circles, nor do they intentionally flaunt how many luxury goods or expensive pieces of jewelry they own, because they don't need to gain others' envy or approval. Their elegance and confidence come from inner cultivation, life experience, and wisdom, not from piling up material possessions to construct a fake sense of nobility. A truly smart and wise woman knows how to enter a rich man's heart through her own influence and achievements, building a deep spiritual connection, not just attracting attention with a superficial high-end lifestyle. On the surface, it may seem like the fake socialites are setting up strategies and trapping the rich. But in reality, it is they who are being quietly drained of their time and youth by the rich. Those seemingly glamorous, refined lifestyles are nothing but a slow consumption battle. So girls, please remember, never base your life on relying on a man. Because once you make yourself a mere attachment to someone else, you will not only lose your self-esteem, but gradually lose your true self. Sure, you can marry a wealthy man, but before that, make sure you become a woman with independent thinking and outstanding capabilities, a true socialite in spirit, and a true rich and beautiful woman in your career. Do you think these fake socialites have a chance to marry a rich second-generation heir? Feel free to leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Your support means a lot to us, and we'll continue to bring you even better content. Thank you again for watching. See you next time.